Welcome to Rewind the Podcast.
Happy Thanksgiving week, everybody. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed our surprise episode, our Wicked review. That was fun.
Yeah, we could not fit all of this and all of that into an episode. And because you all have been so supportive and awesome and just the best community ever, we were like, we're going to give them a little extra this week.
A little something.
A little something.
We love y'all. Don't expect it every week.
And we're being thankful.
We're thankful for you.
We really are very thankful for all of you who comment and like and give us topics and reach out and DM us. Like, y'all are the best. So thank you, and happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, I want to start with, we also thank you when you come up in the wild and say hello.
Oh my gosh.
I had my first, are you from Rewind the Podcast this week? And it was bonkers.
She seems so nice.
First of all, her name was Chanel. Hello, Chanel.
Hey, Chanel.
Friend of the pod, literally now.
I was so mad that I wasn't there.
So I went to a pho place with my friend, and I literally sit down, and I see this girl walking up to me, and not in a weird way, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
Beautiful.
And I was like, oh, what's happening? And she goes, excuse me, are you Blake? And I go, yeah. And she goes, are you from TikTok? Are you from Rewind the Podcast? And I go, I am. And she was like, I really love your show. I really enjoy listening to you, Raven. And I was like, thank you so much. Now, she was sitting with somebody, and I was like, do I get up and go say hi? Like, is this like when you see a friend, you go say hi to the family? I was like, I don't know. And then as soon as I could think it, she turned around. She's like, okay, thank you so much. And I was like, well, that was not in a rude way, the perfect interaction. I was like, okay. I was like, she didn't ask me to go to Olive Garden or like take a photo. I was just like, okay. And immediately, see, this is where it can get bad. I was like, I want to be her friend.
Exactly. You were the person. Blake calls me. He's like, I just met this beautiful black woman at this pho place. And I was like, wait, I want to be friends with her too.
She did.
So now we're stalking her.
Yeah, literally. So we're like, wait, you're Chanel, right? She's probably like, okay, you freaks. Like,
no, but that is really nice. And if you ever see us out in public, always like say hi if you recognize us or whatever.
Well, you've been recognized, but not for Rewind, right?
Correct.
Okay,
what
was yours?
At the grocery store looking in the medication aisle.
She got recognized from CocoJugs.com.
And a girl recognized me from I Know You Lying. And she was like, I was rooting for you. And I was like,
well, not hard enough.
Thank you. But it's always nice to see people who like appreciate the podcast and want to say hi or what the other stuff we do.
Yeah.
Thankfully. You ever get recognized from ranch-ins?
A couple of times. Well, usually, I mean, sometimes when we get done with the show and we go to the gay bar after, someone's like, oh my God, you were ranch hands. And I was like, yeah. And they're like, where's that hot one? And I was like, okay.
Max.
Yes. Now, I will say this. Give me your finger like we're Ariana and Cynthia. Thankfully, we have not run into a crazed fan.
I don't think we have any.
I hope not. Hopefully, we've established our community as people who are nice and sane. Yeah. We don't need somebody being like, Raven, what bras?
No, everyone that like, I think we've done a good job, and y'all have done a good job of like sharing with normal people and like us kind of being normal people.
Yeah. So as your gift for Thanksgiving, here's the second episode. We've got a lot to cover today. I want to start with the CMA'S.
Okay, let's actually start with the fact that I had a stomach bug that almost took me out. It almost wasn't no Rewind podcast.
We were gonna have to fill our role.
I thought I was going to go on the glory and get my role. So,
and I just need you to know, I would have continued the podcast and sold the out of some merch. It would have been you like with the clouds behind you. It would have been like fly high.
Not a hood shirt being our merch.
I would be like,
don't ever put my t-shirt on no angel wings, mom and dad and them. Don't do that.
I was like, we will miss Raven forever, but just for $59.99 you can get a sweatshirt.
Not $59.99. That's funny. But I will say our sweet friend Patrick.
Yes, Patrick Custer, Rooted Recovery Stories podcast. Listen to it.
Yes, also a friend of the pod. Reached out to us and was like, hey, I've got extra tickets. Like, do you want to come? And I was like, yes, but I can't move.
Well, it didn't happen like that totally. Raven loves, let me tell y'all something about Raven, Janice Dawson. Raven loves a nap.
True.
Power or long, it doesn't matter. And I was like, Raven, can we go? I was like, Shabuzi, Simone Biles is going to be there. Somebody, Raven. And then she finally was like, I've been asleep. And I was like, of course, you can't take a nap. And she was like, no. Stomach bug. And I was like,
so sick.
I was like, okay, fine. I was like, are you sure? And she was like, yes.
I was like, you can take someone else.
So I took Max.
Yeah. So I was like, see if Gabe wants to go. See whoever wants to go. But tell me, what was your CMA experience?
Well, I'm going to start with you not coming. because I was there was a part of me that was like, Raven, we are getting this cool opportunity. We have a podcast. Like, I want to do this cool thing with you. And about 4 minutes into that broadcast, I said, I'm glad Raven's not here, because it was just, I moved here because I love country music. Right. And at one point, I really wanted to songwrite and be a country singer when I was straight. Hey. And I'm going to just be honest. Patrick, thank you for the tickets. And I have people who write in country music. But to see where country music is starting to go, it was actually kind of sad.
Really?
Yeah. And I felt like also I was at the RNC.
Texas.
Literally. I just was like, what? This is not what like, I remember when this used to be a party, like the CMA'S, and it was like what you looked forward to. And like at Belmont, people were like, are you going to CMA'S? Are you going to CMA'S? They may still do that. But I was just like at one point I was like,
oh,
like,
really? How long was it?
3 hours. And it was, and again, like, the nominations have kind of stayed the same for the last few years.
That's what I was about to say. Because even in our game, like, you were like, these people, they got nominated for this and this and this. And I was like, I don't know.
She still don't know them, but she did better because they nominate the same people.
Yeah. I just feel like country music needs a Sabrina, Charlie, who was the other baby? Chapel experience.
Yes.
They need 3 new, fun, talented artists to shake up the... Beyonce tried to, but I guess they have to be white women, child.
Literally. Well, I will say, even back in the day, we had like, you had your Carrie people, you had your Miranda people, and then you had like your like Gretchen Wilson or Faith Hill. Like you had like your kind of outliers too, but they were like the big ones in country for a while. And like Carrie came and did a song with somebody, but in a sense, like she's not the new girl anymore.
No,
and
she's
people are like, oh,
OG.
like Carrie's here. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she used to host it for like 10 years.
Well, I feel like, and from what I know, which is very little, I feel like you have your like, I feel like Lainey Wilson is the like,
she's like the belle of the ball.
Correct. But I feel like she's different than, say, Megan Maroney.
Yes.
Like, I feel like that's like the two, like those are your options. You're either like, because I feel like Lainey's more OG country.
Yeah.
Like, it's more traditional.
Roots, this drawl.
Yeah, where I feel like Megan's more like
sparkly dresses.
Yeah.
Like,
and, like,
I'm in a
prissy,
sorority.
Yeah.
But I'm country.
Yeah.
And the lady behind us, you would have gotten in a fight with that lady. She was like, no shade to the Jersey fans, but she was like doing some like Jersey Shore shit. She was like, boo, who the is this? Get her off this Megan Maroney. Boo, we want real country. Boo, where's Lainey Wilson? Kojo. And I was like, first of all, you are from Schenectady, New York. So what are we doing? And she was so loud and obnoxious. And if you watch this podcast, shame. But I was just like, what are we doing? She was so loud. She, like, anytime they said Cody Johnson, she would go, Kojo. And me and Max were like.
Oh, is that who Kojo is?
And this was the perfect part. When he won Album of the Year, she went to the bathroom. And if you go to the bathroom and they come back from a commercial, they don't let you back in until the next commercial. So she missed his big moment because the loudmouth had to get another beer and pee.
Good.
God said hi. Tell you what, I was so annoyed. But the awards were okay. Megan Maroney did great. She looked like a blue Barbie doll, the Millennium Barbie doll. And then KELCE sang with Noah Kahan. That was cool. Teddy Swims was there. Like, the features were cool.
I like Noah Kahan.
He did really good. Teddy Swims was there, and then Post Malone sang.
Teddy Swims sang with Thomas Rhett. And who knew, because I caught a clip of this, and I know people, because I knew Thomas Rhett. Who knew that he had a little soul to him a little bit?
Thomas Rhett is
I was really impressed. Yeah. Thomas.
Now, it was very good. There was a part of me that was like, you can just give this to Teddy Swims. But that's the thing, is like when they have the pop artists there, that's where I can tell like my country thing is kind of going off to the side, because I'm like, I just want to listen to the pop artists.
Yeah.
But I will say Thomas Rhett did do very well.
And he's precious.
Post opened with Chris Stapleton, your boyfriend.
I'm kind of sick of Posty.
Yeah.
I feel
oversaturated. He needs to take a break.
Also,
again, not to just like suddenly get political, the welcoming of genre crossing when you fit their mold.
100%.
Exactly.
Also,
I'm too woke.
When I knew I was happy I didn't go is when I heard Shabuzi didn't win nothing.
He didn't win nothing, and he was the butt of so many jokes. And then the guy who won Album of the Year, Cody Johnson.
Wait a minute, butt of so many jokes in what context?
So they would like, Gabe, did you watch it? Okay. He was like, no, dumbass, I didn't. He was just the butt of a lot of jokes, like during the opening monologue, and then like it was kind of like hot, like they were throwing it to him.
It was funny.
It wasn't. That's the thing. And the jokes weren't really that funny either. But the main one that people really were like, excuse me, for when Cody Johnson won Album of the Year, he got to go up with, I believe, his 2 producers or his main songwriter, whatever. So Cody Johnson says his piece, and then his producer gets up there, and he's like, I just want to thank, my family and God and all that, and I really want to commend this guy out here because he's been traveling the road for years, and he's just really been kicking shaboozy with it. And people were like, what? And immediately, our friend Tanner, friend of the pod, hello, he's doing so much to help people of color, LGBT, black artists in country music. He was like, I'm going to need you to correct what you said about that, because are you using it as a dig? Are you using it as like he's been like kicking the dirt trying to do this? But it's like your choice of words was so far beyond poor.
But also, this is my one thing, and I'm gonna speak out of turn a little bit, because you can call yourself whatever you want to call yourself, right? That you have that, Mr. Shabooz, you have that right. With that being said, I don't like it when people of other descents are like, no one could pronounce my name, so that's why I'm Shaboozy. I don't like that. I don't like that. Because it is, I'm sorry, and I'm not defending this man, it's a silly name. Like, it feels comical.
I like the way it rolls out, the Shaboozy.
Yeah, but like even the way you say it is like comical almost.
Yeah.
And like most country artists go by
George Kyle Jones, Kyle Jones George, George Jones Kyle.
First name, last name. And that's why I have so much, and I'm not saying I don't have respect for Shaboozy, because I love Shaboozy, but that's why I have so much respect for, say, like a Toby Wigwe, because that is his name. And he's not going, and really it's Tobechu. Or Tobeku.
So you don't know.
It's Tobechu. Or it might be Tobeku.
Okay.
Anyway. But like he's very much like, this is my name, and like you gonna say it. If we can say all these other names, we can say whatever Shaboozy's real name is, and I don't even know what it is.
Because he goes by Shaboozy.
So like, I don't know. It does feel like a adjective. Adverb.
Like if somebody were to say kicking Shaboozy, it would be like, it would make sense to you.
Yeah, because it doesn't sound like someone's name.
Well, this is my thing. Being in the crowd too. Oh, I'm sorry, were you not done?
Oh, I was gonna say, I say that, but then there's people like Chingy and like, like names are just names.
2 Chainz, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, and I get that that's like, he's kind of like he's not a rapper, he's a singer, correct? He doesn't rap.
He does both.
I don't know. I don't even know.
Because you don't listen to country music like that.
Yeah,
But this is the thing that made me mad.
Shabooz.
He has had the #1 song in
That's
not in country, on the Billboard for 17, as of last I checked, like 17 and maybe more. He surpassed Morgan Wallen's last night. But and they like kind of just treated it like
it wasn't a big deal.
Like, oh, like people do that all the time. And it's
they
like,
don't.
No, they don't. For the Billboard 200, like Sam Hunt had the longest with Body Like a Back Road for like 34 weeks on country.
Body like a back road.
Body like a back road. Oh, get it.
Go ahead, Gabe.
You better sing it, Gabe. Come on. And they just were kind of like, oh, whatever. And then when they were like announcing awards, people were like, they'd be like, Cody Johnson, who is this? And then it'd be like Shaboozy, and it'd be like, yeah. And it's like, they are playing in this man's face.
Shaboozy, go pull a Taylor Swift, go pop where people will appreciate you. I'm serious. Like, let these country people go. Because they ain't checking for you. They obviously ain't checking for you. Was Tanner Adele there?
I didn't see her, but we were up in the nose. But there was no, like, mention of her.
Oh, okay.
She might have been on the carpet and, like, in the room, but I never saw her.
She was, like, on stage. Okay.
No.
What about Britney Spencer? Any of those girls?
I don't think I saw. If they were there, I never saw them.
So they weren't on stage.
No one's on stage. No one presented. Simone Biles. This was funny. Simone Biles, at one point, they cut away to somebody, and she was in the audience like, this chick better be good. She presented female vocalist of the year, I think, and I guarantee you before the entertainer of the year, who was Morgan Wallen, was announced, sis was probably back on a private plane.
Listen, I think it's weird that none of those women were included.
No.
to present or to anything.
No, because
perform,
remember
nothing.
at the CMT Awards, it was too woke to have them all up there.
Well,
so, and then, like I said,
I missed it.
Morgan Wallen. So me and Max left early because we were like, we don't want to be stuck in the parking situation.
Yeah.
So we left early. As we're leaving, we find out when we get to the car that Morgan Wallen won Entertainer of the Year. Not even there. And then, so like their big award of the night, he was just like, thanks, sorry I couldn't be there. And then it was just over. It was just boring.
I cannot stand Morgan Wallen.
Talk about that.
I just, in a world where we praise mediocre white men all the time, he is like the poster child for that to me.
Mm-hmm.
His voice is his songs are no shade. He looks a little less than I don't get it. And I wish someone could explain it to me. Why they're willing to die on that hill. Obsessed. It is weird.
This is where those little Christian Facebook moms can be like, did he sell his soul to the devil? No, it can only be Taylor and Beyonce.
Yeah, but like why? Like what is the appeal?
I have a theory.
Okay.
Do you think, because I remember when Justin Bieber was going through his like mustache, long hair phase, someone was like, he's the perfect embodiment of a man. Someone's like, I could go to the local gas station and find you 12. Do you think in a way he feels attainable? They're like, maybe I can't have him, but I can have John who works at McCoy, and he can look just like Morgan Wallen. So, like, I mean, that's why so many people with mustaches and long hair move here now, and they're trying to be the next Morgan Wallen. There was a very distinct point when I moved here, and bro country was really big, and in my little heart, I knew I was gay. And I was just like, I can't pull this off. I can't pull it off. Don't you laugh. Can you imagine me in an all plaid button down right now being like, hey guys, my new single Trucks, Butts, and Cucks all come out. So I'm like, I could do country maybe if there was like a little bit of like a comedic gimmick to it. Mm-hmm. But Dixon Dallas is already doing that. And I'd rather go to Pride and do my Hillary Duff mega mix.
Yeah. I just don't. And if you're a Morgan Wallen stan and you want to defend him, do that in the comments. Let me know why you love him so much.
We're open to learning.
Because I don't get it.
Mm-mm. But if you're going to be rude, take it to God.
Yeah.
So we're looking for education, not firebacks.
Yeah.
So anyways, okay, so the CMA'S were what they were. I'm ready for the Grammys, but that's another day.
That's another day. We'll get there.
But thank you for the tickets. And invite us to do their carpet.
Because we love it so much.
No, I will say this. I did see a certain person who will remain nameless because I don't know them and I don't remember their name. But they were doing interviews on the carpet. And when I tell you, pretend like you're a country star. Oh, it's Raven. And he would be like,
I hate black people. Oh, no? That's too
He
far?
would be like, so, Raven's here on the carpet. Fun night, huh?
Shut up.
What, so after this, what party you going to? How fun. Now, how is it? We saw Morgan Wallen walk down the carpet. Not him, but like Megan Maroney walk down the carpet. Pretty cool, huh? Like, so boring. So I'm like,
we could do better than that.
We'd be like, if you were to get pegged by a country woman, who would it be? Mine would be Miranda Lambert. I don't know.
No, we would do,
Yeah.
We would have more oomph.
We keep it clean.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, let's move on. Moving on along.
Okay, we're going to have to bring it down a little bit.
Bring it down.
I'm sad. I'm still sad. So Liam Payne was laid to rest this past week. His family was there, friends, colleagues. And it took so long for this moment that, like, I also, like, I didn't forget, but, like, it, like, pierced me all over again once I saw the leaked photos. One thing I saw was that his family did give permission to some of the outlets to take photos if they promise not to take photos of Bear, his son.
I feel like that is a good compromise because they probably would have swarmed anyway, and it would have been a whole thing.
Free for all.
And I mean, like, people do that when they get married with People magazine and stuff. They'll do like it's like exclusive photos through them. The whole ordeal was sad. My thing is, we obviously One Direction members showed up. the thing that pissed me off is that no sooner than we saw photos of them, it became a who's gotten hot, who's gotten old, and it's like that is not the point right now.
Not at all.
And
so far from the point, it's
so
not
far.
even funny.
And my thing is like I am chronically online. I love memes. This week with the whole holding space for defying gravity while you're at the Willy Wonka experience and having 97-year-old Coke, where's Kate Middleton? I live for it. I scroll and I love it. There are certain things that just don't need a hilarious meme attached to it. And somebody saying how they would ride Zayn off into the sunset, and he is at his former coworker, friend's brother's funeral. It's just not the time.
People don't know what to say.
No.
And that is why, like, first of all, when I saw the photos, I immediately felt like, like sad that he's passed, and then that, like, will these people ever know peace?
No.
Like, good night. Like, I can't imagine having to get dressed and, like, go to something like that for a friend, and then in the back of your head, you're like, are people watching me? Are people taking photos? I will say, shout out to the One Direction fans, because from what I've heard, like, there were no fans there.
Shout out. Yeah,
Because-
that's a true shout out.
And they, like, made a point to be like, funerals are for family and friends. Like, memorials and that kind of thing are for fans. And it sounds like there weren't a lot of people who are just, like, lined up. Like, I think some people did line up, like, blocks away from the church. But I think that's really respectful and kind of people to, like, know the difference. And then the one photo that just, like, ripped me to pieces was them carrying his casket, and you can see his mom and dad in the background.
I didn't see that, and I don't think I can.
And I just, like, and that's the stuff where it's, like, so real. And it's so sad. And I'm glad all the guys got to go and pay their respects and be together and see their friends and, you know, support each other in that way. But I just feel like it was a moment we didn't need to be a part of. And seeing his grieving parents, it just sent me over the edge.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things where we realize, like, I feel like you always think of it as, like, on the other side of the TV, but again, these are, like, real people going through real things. And you said something too about the feeling that, you know, you're being watched. Sometimes I wonder if, like, it's not like the schedule or even like a mental issue that makes a celebrity, quote, go crazy, end quote. If it's always like you always psych yourself out because, you know, eyes are always on you. Because I've heard celebrities say you can feel the energy of being watched.
For sure. And everyone had on sunglasses, which most people do wear to funerals because you look a mess. But there was one photo of Harry that I came across, and keep in mind, I saw all of this without searching for it. Like, it wasn't like I went looking for photos.
You weren't like Liam's funeral.
No.
Type. Yeah.
This was just on my social media. And he was visibly upset, which of course he was. And then people in the comments are like, weird that Zayn didn't cry. Weird that we didn't see any photos of night. I'm like, are y'all serious?
That's what, again, chronically online. There's like a good chronically online where it's like, I'm in on all the jokes. And then there's the chronically online. It's like, you don't know these people. You don't know these people.
It is weird. I was like, you know what? This is why you don't go in the comments. Of stuff like this, because it makes you not have faith in humanity. For you to sit there as a complete outsider who don't know nobody and make comments on how they should feel that their friend, close friend that they spent 5 years with, day in, day out, working their asses off, has died tragically and unexpectedly. Like, the amount of emotions and feelings of a person who's not even, I'm upset and I don't even know that young man. I can imagine how they feel. So it was all upsetting. My thoughts and prayers are still with Liam's family and his girlfriend and his the mother of his child and all the people who knew and loved him. Yeah. But I do think that there is a healing that happens after you've laid someone to rest, and that's where, you know, grief changes and there's a
Mm-hmm.
time where you begin to move forward. And I just pray that that's a smoother transition for them.
Yeah, and I mean, if we're also talking about prayers, I know that sometimes when the funeral ends, sometimes the grief can feel like a tidal wave in a way. And I mean, not to get too, we are at holiday time, and that can be hard for people. And if you are a listener out there who is dealing with grief right now, truly our heart goes out to you. But like you're saying, there can be this period of loneliness where, especially for these people dealing with the loss of a famed loved one, people will want to keep asking them about it, and it's like, let them grieve in privacy and peace.
And that is a good thing to say, that like holidays are tough. Holidays are really hard. Like, connect with your people, like try to be with the people who you love and make you feel good. And if you can't do that, like, it's okay to sit Thanksgiving out. Like, it's okay to sit Christmas out. If you like it's not worth the turmoil and the grief and the sadness that comes with it to make yourself, like, only you know how you really feel. So if that's something you need to do, like, give yourself space to do that.
We had a family friend who they lost a child, and they said as soon as the holidays came around, the first time, they said we're gonna we're gonna have a new normal. They go on a vacation
That's
every
what we
year,
do.
and it's just
For Christmas, the first few years we couldn't do it at home, so we went and traveled, and it's changed. And now we try, like, last year we were going to go to Blue Ridge, and then it fell through because of like storms. I think it was a snowstorm. And so that was, I think, our first Christmas at home since, I think. And like this year we were like, oh, we think we can do this. Like, we think we can try to start doing things at home. So we'll see how it goes.
all right. Well, when we talk about these things, there's no way to be like moving along. But let's we're gonna pick it back up, and we're gonna go to the next topic, which is the fact.
Nope. we gonna keep it down. We going medium.
Yeah, never mind. Okay,
Never mind. We're not picking it back up.
We're not gonna pick it all the way back up because Khalid, the singer, was outed by an OnlyFans wannabe star.
I have so much to say. And I'm speaking way out of turn again. Because
I love it when you do it, though.
As a non-queer person, as a cis hetero lady, I know when some ain't my business, but I do have thoughts.
You're bisexual in your heart, though.
Yeah. I wish my heart would tell my coochie and my brain. Because these men, you be like, God damn! If I could do it, I would.
What does Sabrina Carpenter say? Slim
pickings. God,
don't worry.
Where is my gay awakening?
The fish tank is small over here too. You find someone you love, and they either say, "Can we open this up?" or they say, "Can I put a fist in?"
Oh.
So yeah. Am I wrong, Gabe? Thank you.
Gabe's like, I like both of those things.
Gabe's like, why don't we have a third over while there's? Never mind. Sorry. Okay. Thanksgiving, Khalid.
Okay, so this young man, I cannot remember his name.
Khalid.
No.
Oh.
The man who outed him. Hugo. I don't know how to pronounce your last name, Hugo. I apologize.
She's going to disrespect you respectfully.
Let's start with the fact that it was giving some very racial undertones.
Okay.
Because ugly, he called that man ugly.
You hooked up with them?
Ugly where?
T.
Ugly where?
Those pearly whites. Cute.
He is so cute. He's got a cute face. He got a cute personality. He's got a cute body. Like, he is a good looking person. He is dark skinned. So if that's what you was going at, the T is clocked.
It's because he looks like this and he thinks he's...
Exactly. He think he's somebody.
Hold that up to the camera, Gabe, so people can see it in that little corner. I'm going to speak out of turn on the gay community as right now.
Well,
and
that's intern, because you in it.
I am intern. There you go. Sorry about that. My thing is, and I've noticed this in my own gay community here in Nashville, Tennessee. Love y'all, mean it. We are a community, but
we are a family.
We
like
are the world.
Tree.
Oh, we were doing two different songs.
I was singing Dream Girl.
Just because you have a six-pack and not a second chin does not make you interesting, have a good personality, worth talking to. Maybe the D is fire, as Gypsy Rose would say, but I can guarantee you I've run into enough of them that is not all your assets need to be. And if I had to pick between you two going off just the pros and cons alone, I would hang out with Khalid.
Boom.
Say something else smart to me.
Is this how it is in the gay world? Because sometimes it be for what I've heard from my homegirls and people I know, the buff, fine, conventionally attractive people don't be having the best D all the time.
No. Do you want to know who, if
But
we're
see,
going to get real.
That's why I wonder about gay men, because so many gay men are, what's the word? Like,
Gay.
conventionally attractive in that
Yes.
way.
Yeah,
And
okay.
like care a lot about.
The gay world is a gay men world is very physically driven.
Right.
Yeah. Very physically driven, very looks driven.
Yeah.
I will say, if you want some realty, people are wanting these big muscle, anything like that. And sometimes it's like, okay, if you're my family and you listen to this podcast, turn it off. Thank you so much.
This ain't for you.
But you want to know who sometimes who will D you down and has a big old willy? The skinny little
I already
twinks
knew you was
who
gonna say
work
that.
at a Barnes & Noble.
It's always them. Same thing on the straight side with like the white comic book, fan fiction, video game playing. That's what they say be putting it down.
They'll let you play Halo for hours because they know you're going to give them a halo in the bed. Okay.
I was just curious.
Yeah. And then the thing, too, this is the
Let
other
me
thing.
find me a little nerdy white man.
You know.
Richard! Come find me, Richard. Okay, back to Khalid.
Yeah.
How up do you have to be as a person to out somebody like that? Like, you are up as a person. I'm sorry. There's a lot of things that, like, you can see both sides of. I don't see his side. If you beef, look, if y'all got beef in private where y'all had that beef at. Why are you putting this on the internet? You know that man is not out like that. He made a statement and was like, I'm not ashamed, but like, it's not anybody's business.
T.
And for that young man to put Khalid out like that, I don't like that.
And I guarantee you there's probably some I'm going to out Khalid. And it's like, baby, that was not the serve you thought it was.
No, you look ridiculous. You look silly.
Yeah, you think those abs are going to help you? You look dumb.
Be
Ew.
dumb.
And I will say this. There's been some rumors floating around the music community for years that he has a little sugar in the tank. But this is to anyone who may be in the pop world who's had some success, who I think you know what I'm talking about, but has not publicly come out yet, even though people think he might be gay or girl. Khalid said, okay, and next in his tweet. He put the pride flag and he said, next question. And guess what? In a way, it's kind of already becoming old news. The news is that of how it happened.
But also, baby, it's 2024.
Almost 2025.
Almost 2025. If you have a problem with gay people at this point, you the problem.
See, I go into it, you have to prove to me that you're straight. Straight until proven guilty, and this everyone's a little got something in them.
You right.
A lot of straight people like to sleep with Gabe, and I'm just gonna say that.
That's so true.
Gabe has this little like magic Agatha all along. He takes their purple. That's the tea. That's the tea.
That's so true. But yeah, I just shout out to Khalid for like handling it with grace and not letting it become this like. Not letting him victimize him.
Because Raven's hair would have been in a ponytail.
Hugo, we would have had to meet. We would have had to meet another minds. Because why would you do that? I genuinely don't understand. Hugo, you need to apologize publicly. You need to apologize privately. And you need to discourage other people from doing this to people. Like, because on a deeper level, like, that is not safe for some people.
No.
Like, that, like, you can't do that. You're putting people in harm's way. For what? Because you mad? Be mad.
Yeah.
And if you pick better people to sleep with.
Also, too, again, if you think it was a serve, do you really think you're going to be getting calls about your music now?
Exactly. Like, you will forever be the person who outed another gay person.
Yeah, but pop off, sis. You cleared that.
Yeah. It was just Stupid.
Yeah. Okay, now can we pick it back up?
Pick it back up.
Okay.
Let me tell you what was not on my 2024 bingo card.
Okay.
One was a whole Kendrick album.
Mm-hmm.
Two.
He had to clear it. You know why?
Why?
Because all the white people started singing They Not Like Us. He said, it is not for you. He said, I got to do about 12 or 13 more tracks because this is not for you.
So true. The second thing. He had a comment. He made a comment in the song, and I'm paraphrasing. Basically, I didn't forget it. Let me not paraphrase.
While you're looking, can I tell you what my shocker was?
Shock it. Tell us.
As Raven would like to call him, Jack Antelope producing that thing.
Jack Antelope
Did the pop girlies and now has moved on to Kendrick Lamar.
I have thoughts about that because maybe Jack ain't the problem. Maybe Jack said,
I want to do some cool beats.
But let me show y'all who the actual problem is, because it ain't me.
Ain't she gonna leave
Because
it at that?
this was fire. I ain't gonna hold you. Antelope put his foot in this thing. Cantaloupe. You ate that up. I don't even know what tracks was his, but whatever, they was all good, so he ate it up. Go on, Cantaloupe. Love him. Okay.
Okay.
I found it.
Okay. Back to Raven.
Don't let no white comedians talk about no black women. That's law. And period.
And period poo.
Period poo. And then
Baby, we've been saying that.
And then in 2 lines later, he said that N-word, that coon, the N-word that be grooming, slide on both of them. So what I took from it is, you know, I love to call somebody a coon in a minute. So I feel like me and Kendrick was cousins.
I learned what that word was from Raven, and she said, now this is what the word is, don't you ever say it. And I was like,
this one ain't for you.
Raven, please explain to Gabe what that word is.
It's like a black person who goes like, I'll give you examples. Candace Owens. You know, the black person who tries to like speak for other black people, but they're against what every other black people say, and it seems like they're doing it to get approval from white people. That is what a coon is.
It's their version of a log cabin Republican.
Yeah. First, my initial thought went to Paul Fuhad and James from and Gigs. That felt very Fuhad and James coded, did it not?
Well, not to me. Apparently, I thought they were coming after Kev on stage and that chick Angel.
You shouldn't even say that on camera because that was so stupid.
Raven texted us and she was like, "I think this line is about and gigs," or yeah, she said and gigs, and my mind went to here's the thing.
He called me in a panic, y'all.
I was like, "What did that chick Angel do with Kev on stage?" And she was like,
"What?"
Huh? And I was like, "What?" She's like, "I'm talking about and gigs, dumbass." And I was like, "Oh."
Like called me in a panic. What happened?
I was like, "We loved it. What happened?"
I was like, nothing happened. But no, I feel like it was the final nail in the coffin for and gigs a little bit, because I felt like people been off them anyway, but I also felt like people stopped talking about it. They stopped popping up on my For You page completely, and then in the last couple of days, like their clips have been popping up because I think people are
moving on
or talking about this because Kendrick brought it up in the song, and the girls that got it.
Well, let's be real. A lot of our listeners, they told us in so many comments, they were like, they have not popped up on my page since the second I either said not interested or they talked about that.
Correct.
And we did.
Yeah.
Hey.
I'm glad you're here.
Happy Thanksgiving.
But I was like, dang. And this is where I'm like, listen, they did wrong. And you have to sleep in the bed you made. But the way that my heart would sink if like Kendrick wrote a bar about me in a negative light, I would be distraught. Distraught.
Oh, baby. If this one ever did another album, this is not the same, but it is, and she said, that big white boy is mean, don't you ever sing Come Clean on the floor.
It's a bar, though.
That
was a bar.
I would be locked, shades drawn, in a threadbare robe for days.
I just was like, oh my God. Because as much as James and Fu had, like, shouldn't have did it, like, they're still people. And, like, they're, like, I think my age. Like, I think they were also born the same year I was born. So it's like, they probably love Kendrick. And, like, can you imagine being like, it's track 1.
Well, they should have loved black women more.
Gay.
Ate that up.
Ate it up. Nah. Let me tell you what. Also, too, it's probably like, Kanye cried when Barack Obama called him a jackass.
Yeah, but it's track 1. So can you imagine them being like, oh, brethren, the new Kendrick album's out. Raw.
Or
they
maybe
always say raw.
Raw.
and they like put it on, and it's like, me?
No, they say, wait, is this play about us?
I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I feel really bad for them.
I don't know. Did he talk about us?
I wish.
He said,
if you knew who I was, I would die.
He said that girl Raven, she had, never mind.
I will say, like, there are celebrities that you're like, I want to be friends with them.
Mm-hmm.
He's one that I feel like would be like, I don't want to be friends with you back.
That sucks. That's
like,
tough.
I feel like he would not think I was like cool.
I would have to have words with him in that moment because
But
I'm
you
like,
know
she's
what I
like
mean?
so fun. Yeah.
Like, I feel like I'm like too silly.
Yeah. I don't want to start no beef with. I think he thinks I'm too silly.
It feels like I'm drinking out of a sippy cup with my elbow on the top.
That was perfect timing, Raven. I don't want no beef with Kendrick Lamar, so don't take that as an opportunity.
No.
But you could do a lot worse than Raven, Janice, Giselle,
No,
Monet,
I
Dawson.
love him. I think he is like one of the most talented rappers, artists of our generation.
Yeah,
But he doesn't strike me as like, I'm going to go meet Kendrick for a cup of coffee.
yeah.
And watch he be like the most easygoing, like
So easy to talk to,
and like
yeah.
so silly too.
I'm interested to see now that he's released the released the record though, what the Super Bowl will look like. Now has he been planning these songs?
I know.
Can you imagine being and gigs and getting roasted at the
At the
biggest
Super
game in the world?
I'm done. Also, I saw on TikTok, and I meant to send it to y'all if I forgot. So you know how Beyonce's doing the halftime show for Christmas Day?
Mm-hmm. Which we didn't even get to talk about that.
I know.
Crazy.
That's why I'm
She's
bringing it
gonna
up
do-
now.
Oh, okay. See.
So, hello. A girl made a point to like mesh their clips. So for Kendrick's, he's putting a ball. You know those things that you put the ball in and it goes for you? It shoots it. Yeah. Well, he puts the ball in there and it shoots it. And then in hers, she's catching a ball. This girl, I wish I could remember your name. If I could find it, I will put it in here. She was like, I feel like there is a connection here of like, because she was saying she took it way deep about like Beyonce going into her like divine feminine and him talking about him like being more in his divine masculine.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're connected, I will scream.
This is giving black girls take on Taylor Swift theories.
It really is. I want to be very clear.
He's catching the football and he's like throwing the football, but then like she kind of like turns to the left a little bit and she like was left leaning because she supported Kamala.
You're
and he's like turning to the
joking.
right, which he said he was gonna hook and gigs on the right.
It took me. I sat there for like 15 minutes and really thought that through.
And then you said my legs fell asleep and I had to get off.
Like I was just like, oh my gosh, like I just didn't make that connection. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
No, it is. I was trying to be.
Things I get excited about on this podcast. You're like, whatever.
And then I'm like, whatever. I can't even defend myself. That is really cool. I don't know. I'm not deep enough in the lore.
So
Tell me.
on TikTok, there's been so many beefs lately. There's been the girls fighting over steak. Are y'all on that side of TikTok?
Girls fighting over steak.
All of my For You page right now is people cooking steaks and eating them.
No.
Because people are doing that like carnivore diet.
You have the weirdest For You page though. What did you like to watch back in the horse hoof cleanings?
I love and right now, my new thing is ballet shoes, them breaking them in.
What does that mean? Like they break their feet?
So what they do is this is not what we plan to talk about.
No, not at all.
Here we are. So they'll like do like special things to these, like no ballet slippers, like point shoes is what I'm trying to say. No point shoes. People don't just put them on and go.
Yeah.
They like every ballerina or ballerino. What's a man ballerino? Every ballerina.
Ballerino.
Every ballerina person who does ballet breaks in their shoes a different way. Some people like rip out the sole. Some people take like the staples out. Some people do whatever.
Slide in the Dr. Show.
And so I've been like they put pads on their toes or these little like jelly things on their toes. in between their toes. So I like have gotten on this side of TikTok, and I've also been obsessed with this man who fits people. Stop yawning.
I'm not. I'm so
No,
excited.
you were trying to hide a yawn. The way I am, that man is an artiste, and he'll be like, "Oh, I see what it does," and keeping it a buck. They all look the same to me. Like he'll be like, "Can't you see like how the arch is?" I'm like, "That looked like the other shit."
That is $12 wine, and $300 wine.
Literally, but I'm here for it. I watch every single one. I will just be in bed, just like whatever. So that's what I'm into right now.
We have very different For You pages. Lately, the one that's been coming across I feel like this could be a segment. Like, what's been on yours this week? But mine has been this girl who said when she's out of office. Have you seen this?
And she tries to do it. That's so you-coded.
And she's but the thing is, I learned real quick at my first job. I used to have to send out the annual. Well, let me tell you what it is first. This girl will say, "I'm out of office," and instead of just being like, "Hey, I'm out of office. I'll be back on the 15th." Brenda, I don't know what her name is. It's like, once upon a time, there was someone who needed a Disney World vacation, and she went to Southwest.com, and her manager was like, "We don't need all that. What are you out of office?" So she was like, "Oh, he's not a fiction fan."
And so that is literally you.
That is, when I heard the story, I said, "Blake would do some stupid shit."
No, okay, so and then she tried to do nonfiction, and then he was like, "No, we don't need like factual out of town, like what you got on the deal for Disney World." And then she was like, "Oh, well, I'm out of office, but while I'm out of office, make sure you're like sitting up at your desk straight." But he's like, "Just say you're out of office."
And she gonna be out of office permanently if she don't quit.
Someone said this is not the time to play unemployed.
No.
It's not the time. But what's funny is when I was 18, I worked at a church, and I had to send out like to the entire staff, it was like a mega church, our calendar meeting reminder. I would put in everyone's birthdays, all the calendar things, and then say when we needed to be there. The first one I did up, there was word art. There was like happy birthdays, like boo, anything like that. And it was this long thing. And our no-nonsense finance lady there, I sent that thing out. Within 2 minutes, she responded. She said, "You didn't attach the calendar." And I said, "Oh, okay." And then I kept getting messages from these very sassy preachers who were on staff, and they were like, "It never needs to be this long again." And I said, and this is my thing. I said, "Heard." Because one thing I don't like to do, but I like to be fun, but I also don't like to be embarrassed. So I'll learn real quick. So thank you, Gabe.
That's funny because I did see that too.
Yeah, that was
and
on my...
this is what I'm bad about. I'm bad about putting my out of office message on, period. I'm gone. I don't have a job. So back to TikTok beefs.
Yeah.
That's what this was about. So the girls have been beefing over steaks. That's my first one. I guess everybody's cooking steaks and eating them. No one's eating them off of plates. They're all cutting boards. And it's steak and eggs. I don't know. I don't know how I got on this side of TikTok. I don't even like steak like that. So Kylan Darnell became popular from Bama Rush Talk. She went Zeta a couple years ago. I think she's in her junior year. So we've watched her grow up through her college career. Love her, mean it. Blonde, cute blonde girl. She was in Texas and was at the airport and filmed like an OOTD because she was very popular with her OOTDs. She has like 1 million followers on TikTok now. And she's the have a great day, not just a good day girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm invested.
Yeah. So
I was glassing over in the eyes over here.
So she's at the Texas airport and she's like, "I'm gonna do an OOTD before my boyfriend comes and picks me up." And everyone was like, "Boyfriend? You have a boyfriend?" So she soft launches this relationship. And because all the comments were like, "Oh, you have a boyfriend? You have a boyfriend? Oh my God. She made a second video and was like, "I met him in June. He's really cute, really sweet, but like I want to get to know him better before we go public. And I don't want to," she was like, "I just don't want to like put too much pressure on it. So I'm going to wait a couple months before I like go public." Child. The very next day, she's in the airport and she's like, "Cut my trip short." And the song Homewrecker is playing in the background. The lyrics are like, "Girl, I didn't know about you. He lied to us both, blah, 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 blah." So now I'm damn Nancy Drew because I need to know what the hell that went on.
This is why you actually didn't come to the CMA Awards. You were bonnet in the bed getting the tea.
So I'm in the comments like, what happened? Like trying to get the tea or whatever. So another girl was like, "I saw her video." And of course, everybody was like, "Who video? What?" So she tags the girl. So, I click on it. Mm-hmm. There's another girl who goes to TCU. And she's like,
Corn frogs.
she said, she started it so petty. She was like, I'm having a horrible day, not just a terrible day.
Branding.
And this is why. And she's like, basically tells us her whole love affair with this boy, this saga. This week, well, Gabe know a little bit about this. We break up, we get back together. We break up, we get back together. We hate each other, we love each other. He don't like me, I don't like him. The timing ain't never right.
Don't do our producer like that.
I'm just saying, we broken up. You don't have to put that in. We broken up, but we still kicking it and texting each other all the time. So it's a mess. It's a whole mess, which happens when you 22. Now some people are older than it. I ain't gonna throw no shade. So,
Mama, you are under a willow tree right now.
so the girls like reached out to him. This man, he diabolical though, because he texted her and said, in the morning, if I block you, don't take it personal. The night before the girl came into town, night before Kylan got to his house. He told her, like, hey, we're not official. I'm, like, talking to other people. But then, like, was basically, like, keeping her on the back burner. But see, the tea was when Kylan put out that video and said we started dating in June, the girl was like,
hold up.
I was dating him in June. What do you mean?
There is nothing more powerful than two girls comparing stories.
That's what I'm saying. So she put up her video. Kylan says on her most recent video, they were sitting at dinner and someone sent her this girl's TikTok while she's with this boy. And she was like, basically had to be like, what is this? So she packed her stuff and left the next day, and she kept calling him my ex-boyfriend.
See, this is why I love TikTok. That's why I don't watch The Secret Lives of Mormon. That's so contrived. This is the stuff I'm here for.
This is the stuff. And she was like, and Kylan's so sweet. She's like, I'm not going to blame the girl. Like, that's so stupid. Like, she didn't know either. She was
blame the boy.
Yeah, but she was like, I do wish she would have done this privately. Because she was like, now I'm having to deal with it in front of all of you too. And it's like embarrassing.
Well, you know what? Liam Payne's funeral wasn't private. Sometimes
the
price of celebrity. As Chapel Run would say, you can't turn it on and off.
But I was like, dang, that really sucks. And she was just like, I am heartbroken and like, it'll be fine. Like, I'll get over it. So, of course, then I go digging to see who this boy is. And he's a cute boy. But he's older than them. I want to say he was like a grad student. He did like something with baseball or something. I think he like was like a grad assistant. Exactly. The baseball boys are the worst. He was like a grad assistant at TCU.
Never mind.
So I was like, has that ever happened to y'all where you found out your person was like, there was like crossover between you and somebody else?
I hooked up with this guy off an app one time.
Yeah.
And he, before he came over, he was like, I'm taking care of my best friend. And we went out last night. We got really drunk, blah, blah, blah. He came over, we hooked up. And then afterwards, he was like getting ready to leave or whatever. And I was like, oh, yeah, you got to get back to your best friend. Hopefully they haven't drank all the Powerade or something, like making a joke. And he was like, best friend, my husband. And I was like,
Not him making you the other woman and you didn't even know.
I didn't even know. And when he left, I just laid down and was like, and I felt so bad. And then I was like, well, that's not really my problem.
It's not.
It's not my problem. You're the one. And then, later he was like, oh, we're open. I'm like, then just leave with that, Mary.
Yeah.
So, or Betty.
The best sex I've ever had was with a guy, and it turned out to be, it was on his bachelor party. He told me he was at his friend's bachelor party, met him in the bathroom, had the best, hottest sex in the alley and in the car of a parking garage.
You will tell anything. These cameras are on.
These cameras are on.
Are you going to use it?
Yes! Maybe.
If you want to.
This little editing finger right here. Whoosh. Remember, I cut Raven going,
He was like, we finished, and he was like, I got to go get back to my bachelor party. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I'm at my bachelor party. And I was like,
you know who that's not fair to? The girl.
Yeah.
Grow some balls and come out.
Or maybe she knows.
Maybe she said what happens at the bachelor party stays at the bachelor party.
Yeah, or maybe she like knows like hooking up with guys. We don't know.
We never know.
Well, I will say one time, he wasn't my boyfriend, but it was like an off and on weird kind of thing. And he texted me one time and was like, I love you and I miss you or something like that. And I was like, that was really cryptic and weird. So I called our mutual friend and was like,
was it?
No.
Oh.
It was.
Oh.
And my friend was like, but this was before I will hold your hand to say this, but it was giving that energy. He was like, he's out of the country with another girl. And I was like, wait, what?
Whoa.
And he was like, yeah, like he's out of the country with this girl. And I was like, why is he texting me? And I like, it's like that, like, and at that age, because we were in our early to mid.
Oh, it's giving Elsie single tear crying like.
Yeah, like it's so messy and like everyone's just like all over the place and so confused about their lives and whatever.
Yeah.
But that was like the only thing I had to compare it to.
Yeah.
Where I was like,
absolutely not.
What?
I feel like these are the stories we should put behind a Patreon wall. I don't know if I need the free world knowing I hooked up with a married man. Or that Gabe likes to take it out in the alley. Figuratively and literally. Okay. What? Oh, Gabe, please.
I gotta go!
Let's just say Gabe can bend over and grab his ankles.
You are verse.
Verse, yeah.
Okay, let's finish this thing off.
Yeah.
Oh.
The substance is real.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, so this has been on my For You page as well.
Mm-hmm.
The girlies are looking snatched to the gods.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the girlies who in the past have had work done that did not make them look their best. The word on the street is that there's a new plastic surgeon who is fixing everyone's botched work.
Mm-hmm. And according to Facebook moms, it's Satan.
But there has to be a person, and I don't know who, because if it were me, I would have been like, it's me. I did it, but you can't do that.
We all hit a different me.
I was like, me. Who wants to go to the Four Seasons in Orlando?
I do, mother.
And I'm sure like client patient privilege, you can't be like, I did so and so, whatever. But there's a list of celebrities that if you look at the before and afters, you're like, holy crap, she looks great.
Demi Moore.
Listen, and I don't like to talk about people's appearance. I wasn't even gonna say no names, but since you brought it up, when she came back on the runway that one time, I can't remember whose show it was, and her face, I was like upset because she is just stunning to me, and she was aging so gracefully and so beautifully, and I like really commended her for that. And she came back looking otherworldly,
plump for the rump.
It was really bad. Whatever she did, she looks back to her normal, natural, beautiful, regal self.
Now, I will say this because we all know the celebrities we're kind of talking about. But I did see a TikTok that said it's not so much the work they're getting done as they're getting it all done at once. So instead of like, you're going to get some plumper, you're going to let yourself get plump, and then you're going to do this, and then you're going to do the eyes, and then you're going to do lips, where people are like, you are plumping yourself up. First of all, there's a lot of people are saying maybe the generation of filler is done.
It needs to be, because Kylie in particular is such a beautiful girl, and she has this, when she has no makeup on, she looks like a baby. Same with Megan Thee Stallion, where I'm like, oh, you are really 24 or 25. You look like somebody's child.
Give me that collagen.
Literally, they look so young. It really aged Kylie. And when she took all that filler out, I was like, oh my gosh, there she is. She looks beautiful.
So he's saying that like you take the filler out and then you do the eye lift, you do the whatever, but you do it all at once, so it heals all at once, and it's like now
your face settles.
It's like your face settles, but your body's working, and it's not working on this, and then it's this, and then it's not like, I'm tired, Grandpa. Like, it's doing it all at once, so you look. Well, and then women have the power of makeup too.
Well, they look like they're aging backwards. It is amazing. Have you seen where Paris Hilton came out and says that she has never done Botox, filler, anything? She said that when she was 10 years old, her mom sat her down and said, this is going to be your skincare routine, and you need to stay out of the sun. And she said she has like done this religiously
But you know what? Here's the thing. When you're rich and you have access to that good Korean skincare, it's not the most shocking thing. Now, again, I always go back to my thing where J-Lo's like, I'm just a good person on the inside and I drink water. I was like, lady, give it up. But that could be true.
Yeah, and also I think the art in getting work done, from what I've heard, is doing the little things, little bits at a time, and not doing
it all at once.
All at once. Like getting a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Like you see things changing and you just get those little adjustments so that you still age gracefully over time. I will say Kris Jenner looks fantastic. Whatever she's been doing, she doesn't have the
road to the movies with that top down.
Yeah, literally. She looks fresh and natural.
What did you call Matt Gaetz last week? Every time
I got tickets to the Usher concert.
Every time I had to edit that part, I kept laughing. I would have to stop it. I got tickets to Usher concert.
Put your eyebrows down. Girl.
Who has dropped out of the...
I was gonna bring it up.
Yeah, but sorry, go ahead.
But yeah, I just thought that was really interesting, and I'm pro nip tuck if that's what you want to do. I think
I'm more Dr. House.
Okay. If that's what you, but I want to know who this doctor is. That's the real tea. So if y'all know somebody who know who it is, tell us.
You're perfect though.
No, I'm not getting nothing done. I just want to know.
Oh, okay. Let's move on.
I was gonna say this last thing about Matt Gaetz.
Oh, okay.
That he has removed himself from the running to be Attorney General.
He has to be excluded from this narrative.
And I have two things actually. Good for him. What pissed me off was his wife took a photo of him where he looked terrible and was like, this is what unemployment looks like. So proud of my hubby for da-da-da-da. Ma'am, your husband was accused of trying to have sex with a child.
Now's not the time.
What? I was like, first of all, I was relieved that he...
Do we need to throw in an allegedly?
Is it allegedly?
I don't know. I just saw at one point they were talking about this on The View, and that girl had to literally say a legal thing before they went to commercial. It was weird.
Allegedly.
There you go.
Girl, read the room. Read the room.
This isn't about relaxing at home.
No.
Catching up on the TiVo.
No, the reason he is withdrawing is because he has sexual assault allegations out, which, child, and then Marjorie Taylor Greene has the nerve to say that if we took everybody who had sexual assault allegations out of the Republican Senate, there wouldn't be anybody left.
And I said, so you just gave up the whole ghost. You said, here is Casper.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
So that's where we are. But I was happy to see he pulled out. I just can't take no more.
I will say I happily saw that and went, huh. And then they said, and here's the new. And I said, no. I'm going to go see Wicked.
Exactly.
I said,
I don't want to know.
I said, I've entered holiday time. I'm going to have a nice cheat week, and I'm going to go see Wicked about 7 times.
Yeah.
And then Moana 2.
Exactly. And let's just keep it cute.
Yeah.
And then the last thing I want to talk about is Jason Kelsey's wife is pregnant.
Oh.
With their 4th girl.
Oh, God.
That's a girl.
He's got some.
He only makes girls, I think.
He's got some strong swimmers.
But the cutest thing, and this is why I love them so much, and I love his wife so much. I cannot remember her name.
KELCE.
Yes. KYLIE is so normal and is so the rest of us. Like the little big sister tee she got, Amazon. Like it's like someone, no magazine announced this. Like she announced it on her TikTok with like her 3 girls and big sister tees, and it was just so sweet and like wholesome, and I'm just so happy for them. And congratulations to the Kelces on their 4th.
Okay, I want to talk about maybe just 1 or 2 more things. It's Thanksgiving week. We've said it all throughout the episode. Happy Thanksgiving. Tell me, do you have any special Thanksgiving memories just for final thoughts?
Actually, I have one.
Okay.
I don't know if I've told this story before. So my family does something called the harvest dinner.
Okay.
Where it's not on Thanksgiving. It's usually like a few weeks before. My mom is one of 6, and like they all have spouses. So it's like that side of the family, like my mom's siblings, they put on this dinner and everyone comes, and it's like everyone comes, family, friends, blah, blah, blah. And I just remember one year we were at my aunt's house, and, you know, they call everybody in to pray over the food. And me and my brother were like, we are so hungry. So hungry, because you're like waiting all day to eat this food.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Now it's 4:30.
Do we have the same family? It's like if we're doing this for dinner, you aren't eating nothing.
Look, I think my mama might have threw some toast in the oven.
Yes.
And that was about it. So we looking at each other like, we about to tear this food up. And we standing there holding hands. It was the longest prayer.
I was going to say, is it Aunt Marie trying to touch heaven?
He called on everybody, Jesus, Mary, Joseph, the God of Abraham. And I looked up, like, and me and my brother locked eyes, and I thought I was going to pop a vessel in my head from laughing. I could not, and I could see my mama being like, quit it. I'm like crying, laughing at this point. And right when people would be like, amen, and God, we call on you. Lord, I was like, we stood there for, I promise you, a good 5.5 minutes.
I talked about this with my mom the other day because I was like, and then you have those people who do the performative prayer. She's like, well, I'd rather us acknowledge the Lord before we have this big meal. And I was like, acknowledging the Lord is a beautiful thing. I said, the performative.
You ain't going to tell old black people not to do what they want to do.
No.
And that person wanted to call on all the angels. Mm-hmm. That is the most blessed meal I have ever had. It was delicious. Minute 3, I was like, somebody kick him in the kneecap so we can get this plate. But it was just a funny one that I think about with Thanksgiving. What about you?
We used to go to my grandma's in Mississippi, and they had this big like plot of land, and it was so big that like my aunt and then my uncle lived like down the land. And we used to wait till it got dark, and we would either play hide and go seek in the dark. That's probably where I fell in love with that. Or we would play capture the flag, like late into the night.
Oh, that's fun.
And it's just like one of my favorite memories. They've since gotten their robes, and we don't really go out there anymore. So it's like now it's like, what are we gonna do for Thanksgiving? Yeah. And I've had a lot of Friendsgivings the last few years.
Yeah.
So that's like,
and you're gonna be in town for Thanksgiving.
I'll be here.
You'll be here too, right?
I'll be here.
So
we might just have to connect, go see a movie. That's like our thing.
One of my favorite friend Thanksgiving was when we all had COVID together a few years back.
Don't put me in that.
And me and Gabe went to Cracker Barrel and got Cracker Barrel Thanksgiving meals because none of us could go home. And I lost my taste mid-meal. And then
we watched like, more for me.
We watched Rent Gabe watched Rent for the first time.
I've still never seen Rent.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
And Dina Menzel, iconic roles.
Yes,
Tell you what.
And she's what's her name? Elsa.
Now we got to wrap it up. But my favorite thing, deviled eggs. The way I'm about to pop those in my mouth.
Mine are candied yams.
Candied yams. Black Friday.
Hell no.
I love Black Friday.
You would. You love chaos.
I love chaos. I love it. Well, back in the day, I loved a good deal.
Yeah.
Now it's like this TV was $250. Now it is $249.99, and I'm like, thanks, Joe Biden. But
we used to do that as kids. Like me and my mom would wake up super early, like 4 a.m. and go shopping. And then once they started doing the same thing on the internet, I said, why am I get bus over the head for a TV
I got this little iPad
when I can do it from home?
Oh, see, that's what I love. And I think, like I said, we did in Mississippi, so we would have to travel an hour to go into this town that was big enough to have good stores, but small enough to where you didn't have to fight. And it was like a core memory. So now when I'm in Nashville and people are like threatening to throw an elbow, I was like, I will choke you out.
Like I'm not fighting over a doll.
Yeah, and I have friends that want to go to Target this year to get the Taylor Swift Eras tour book and the anthology, and I was like, I just want to go to Target.
I love Target.
I do too. So apparently, found this out. You can find Kristen Chenoweth at Target because she lives in Nashville now, or she has a house in Nashville. And she told somebody to book signing. She was like, now, honey, you know I moved here. He told me this at the Gay Bar tonight before we filmed, and he was like,
did he tell you this to tell all these people?
It was like it was at a signing.
Okay.
And she was like, and he said something, and he was like, it was a special moment. And he's like, I would never see you. He's like, I didn't know you lived here. She's like, well, honey, if you frequent the Target, that's your best option. And I was
not me going, which Target she go to?
It was just probably the Franklin.
Because not me camping out at Target.
Hello.
Trying to see Miss the way I would embarrass myself at them people Target. Kristen Chenoweth, is that you? She'd be like, no.
Only person you've ever met that you had to look down. Teeny. Yeah.
I would lose my mind if I ran into Kristen. The only person I ever ran into at Target was I was with you when we saw that girl from that TV show. Her parents went to jail. Her mama was there too.
Oh, Savannah Chrisley.
Yep.
Yeah, they walked. We were taking that photo.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, LOL, that's funny." We were like, "LOL, thanks." And then they walked past, and I go, "That was Savannah Chrisley."
And my mom and dad love the Chrisleys. That's the only person I ever saw.
Well, let's wrap it up. Happy Thanksgiving to all of our listeners. We hope you've enjoyed our double episode week. Give you something to do while you're eating, washing the dishes, or taking a walk with your cousin. But all that being said, thank you so much for listening to this episode of Rewind the Podcast. If you want to listen to other episodes, you can listen on Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you like podcasts. I'm not here to tell you what you like because you're a grown adult and you know what you like. But if you want to watch the podcast and see our beautiful faces, you can watch on YouTube. Make sure you comment, subscribe, like, and sign up for alerts because we've got some other special stuff coming out. No, there will not be a third episode this week.
No, that's it.
But with all that being said, Raven.
Thank you so much for watching and happy Thanksgiving. You can find me on all social media platforms at I am Raven Dawson. And if you are on Apple Music or Spotify, give us 5 stars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and leave a comment and tell us what you like about the pod.
Yeah. And I am chronically online. You can find me anywhere. There's a social media site at Blake Rackley. It's time for me to go throw an elbow at Target and for Raven to shop online. So we'll see you
next week.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.